Welcome to the MFS Wellness Podcast, a hybrid structure encompassing health, fitness, self-improvement, and entertainment, where no topic is off limits and all opinions are graciously welcomed.
Let's get on with the show!
And now, here's the host of the show, Mike Sinopoli.
Welcome to the MFS Wellness Podcast. I am Mike Sinopoli, certified nutrition coach, consultant, counselor, call me whatever you would like. On this episode, I am going over a 6-day per week strength training schedule, my personal favorite way to train. I have been sort of putting together different strength training programming sessions based on how many days per week over the last 4 episodes, 3, 4, and 5 day I did over the past week. If you want to go back and listen to those, if a 6-day per week schedule is too much for you, then you know what, you might be able to listen and hear it here and see and confirm that. Otherwise, you can go back and see what else I've said, see what lines up with you, see what doesn't. And like I said on the other episodes, not to get redundant, but in case you're starting here, this doesn't mean it's the best. This doesn't mean everything everybody else is doing is wrong. This is what I do, what I think is useful. I've gotten results from this. This 6-day per week schedule has been my go-to. 6 days is a lot for most people, and I understand that. I'm insane in some cases. I enjoy the gym. I love it. It's part of my day, part of my life. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the day overall. I really like being there. I got my music on. I'm in my zone. I'm feeling good. I get a burst of energy. It really is somewhere I enjoy being. So I put together a 6-day per week schedule for myself, and I try to stick with that. Right now, I'm actually on a 5, like I told you, but this is a 6-day if I'm sort of doing something more less than the surplus range of really trying to hit PRs where I might need more rest. So this kind of incorporates different rep ranges as you go. You're probably going to, since it's 6 days a week, you may end up seeing yourself feeling like you get burnt out. And I'll get into that a little bit later. It depends on where you're starting. If you're starting out with weightlifting and strength training or getting back into it, I would not recommend going right into a 6-day a week routine. I think that's too much too soon for most people. You have to work your way up to this. And even when you do, you're probably going to have some days where you get to the gym and you're a little frustrated because your energy level is a little low. So I'll explain how to maneuver through that. For now, I'm just going to start going through the schedule of what I would do. We start out with Monday. I would make that a back and biceps day, so similar to like a pull day. I would start off with rows on Monday because what I do is in each day I kind of put a compound lift, which works major muscle groups at the start of the workout. And each of my days of the 6 is going to start with back, legs, or chest because those are the main muscle groups, the biggest, the largest. The movements for those work the most amount of muscles. So we're doing the most we can with our time in the gym and going for as much efficiency as possible with as little time as you want to spend in there. So that's how you want to hit it. And those are the kinds of movements that'll build the most muscle, keep you strongest, keep you mobile, and they're just good for you. You just have to have the right form, the right technique, know what you're doing. Don't go too hard, too fast. So Monday, back and biceps. Rows is what I'll start off with. I'll do a lot of different rows. A barbell row is probably where I'll start right there. I'll go up to the squat rack. I'll lower the bar down and start rowing and just basically go from there and try to hit a PR on that. And then from there, whatever else I feel like doing that works the back and biceps, I've kind of been through it. I'm not going to get too detailed on what exactly to do because there's a lot of different variations, a lot of different movements. Everyone has a different mind-muscle connection, what will work better for them. But lots of rowing, lat pulls, things like that, biceps curls later on in the workout will hit Monday. Then you go into Tuesday, you got legs and abs. I'll usually do deadlift here. I'll start out with a deadlift for my lower body, focus on that. I like to do a sumo style for that. I feel like it really activates my legs a little bit more in that position. But conventional will do it as well. That's more standard. So we'll be doing a lot of leg movements. I won't go heavy on squats this day. I might do some squats, maybe a variation, maybe a goblet squat, maybe a hack squat, front-loaded squat, something like that earlier on after the deadlifts, just to get some more leg stimulation on a compound movement. But I don't want to go ahead and try to go max out or go heavy on the deadlift and then go ahead to squat. You might hurt yourself doing that because you should be pretty taxed from doing the deadlift if you're doing it correctly and you're really pushing the weight. So I would go with the deadlift to start off Tuesday. Wednesday rolls around, it's a chest and triceps day. And I'll start usually with a flat bench, either dumbbells or barbell. Depends if I have somebody in the vicinity that will spot me. I will do a bench press and on the barbell. I prefer dumbbells. I feel like I can get I don't need a spotter usually. I can just drop the weight if it gets too heavy. And I can move my arms a little bit more and really target my chest with dumbbells more than I can with a barbell. That goes for a lot of different motions. You can do a lot more with dumbbells, in my opinion, than barbells, but I think both have their place throughout the whole programming here. Thursday, circle right on back over to a back day. You can hit biceps again if you really think you need to, if it's something lagging. I'll do maybe a little more trap work, try to get the upper back hit a little bit more shrugging this day. Sometimes I'll start out with a deadlift here. And at this point, I'm already 4 days in for the week. I might be a little tired. Sometimes this ends up becoming more of a cable type workout where I'm doing more lat pull downs, different variations of that. I'll do some rows, seated rows with cables, standing rows with some rope, things like that on this sort of day. Then, like I said before, I'll shrug a little bit more intently and maybe push the weight a little bit more on the traps. Friday again is another leg day, and that's going to have heavy on squats that day. It's a big squat day. I won't deadlift that day at all. Usually we'll incorporate some lunges, hip thrusts, and other variations, leg press, things like that, and another solid lower body day. Saturday, that'll end the week. That's chest and delts, so that's going to be a lot of pressing. Incline, I'll start with an incline as opposed to a flat bench on this day, or maybe I'll start with an overhead press if I want to get some more activations to my shoulders, my delts. As you can see, I hadn't hit my delts technically throughout the rest of the week. This is the first time I'm actually hitting those. I do feel like my delts are relatively well built, so I don't put too much emphasis on them. That's just for me. And I will get activation on Wednesday in by doing chest day. That does hit my delts, and you'll get a little bit on the back days too. So it does get some stimulation, but this is the day where I'll hit it directly. And of course, I'm hitting chest again. Sunday will be a rest day where you can do whatever you'd like. You can walk, but I wouldn't lift that day. I don't believe in 7 days. I do think a rest day is necessary. The pros here, I think it's extensive training. I think it's a lot of muscle stimulation. You got to really know what you're doing in there, and have your plan set. Be really committed to it. And that's the best for muscle growth and preservation. And what else works here is that it lends itself to the right rest as well, in my opinion, as far as muscle groups go. Because if you review the schedule, I know you're not looking at it right now because you're just listening to me, but Monday and Thursday are the back days. Tuesday, Friday, legs, lower body, and then Wednesday, Saturday is chest, delts, and things like that, triceps. So what that does is gives you about 48 to 72 hours or so in between the different muscle groups. So they're getting their rest that they need. And that's huge and very important. The cons here on this type of a schedule, it can lead to some burnout. I've had it happen to me where I got to the gym and I knew it on my way in. I said, this is going to suck. I said, this isn't going to be good today. And it wasn't. There are some days, though, where I will go and I'll say, this is going to suck. And then after a few sets, a few reps even, I just, it turns on and you just can go and you just end up, that's the best part of the gym, is it just revitalizes your maybe lethargic type day that you're having. It's actually tough to get there. I know how I'm going to feel in the gym based on how long it takes me to actually get out of my car when I get there. Because if I shoot out of my car, I get to the gym, I park, and I just speed to the front door, I know I'm going to have a pretty good day. Sometimes I'll sit into my car after I park, and I'll just say, all right, just give me a minute. I'll play on my phone. I'll just sit there, finish a podcast or something, or listen to music until I get in there. But, that's all right. And sometimes this might be too much for some people. Some people might be listening to this saying 6 days is far too much and you're overtraining. I don't believe it. I've seen the results for others that do this similar type of programming and myself, and that's just the way that I tend to like to do it. So with 6 days, you're super committed, and it's okay if you miss a day here or there. That's another good thing about having a 6 day. If you do miss a day, you're really going to be all right. You just got to find a way to sort of pick up where you left off, which is why sometimes it's not best to go ahead like I did here and schedule Monday through Saturday, and each one has a specific designated day. I just did that for simplicity's sake. But what you could do is always just be on a rotating type of schedule. So if you miss a day, the next thing is just what's next in line. that keeps you from feeling like you're falling behind. Our brains think that if we miss a day, if Friday is leg day, we can't get to the gym for something, some shit went down, and we just can't go. Sometimes our brains will tell us we've screwed up the week and we messed up, and we just stop and we just don't go any longer. So we just want to remember that we can just push that out. Don't let the weak structure own you. You own it, and you just keep kind of going from there. So that's really the 6th day that I would do. I don't know how many people really want to work out 6 days a week. You got to be pretty committed and into it. So it's something to work up to, and I think it's great to do. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's just another way to really keep yourself involved and not fall off and not have too many downtime and just stay active. It's wonderful. And then cardio, where do you fit cardio in here? I mean, wherever you want. I don't really do a lot of cardio. I do some walking. I'll walk around the gym a little bit in between sets, and you track your steps while you're in the gym. You might find out that just by pacing around a little bit and just forcing a little extra movement in between is going to get you another 3,000 to 4,000 extra steps just by being in the gym, and that's more than enough. And as far as when you're at the gym, the rest of the day, 6,000 more steps shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's how I'd go. And you can do this type of lifting whether you're in a deficit, surplus, or maintenance. It really doesn't matter. You might burn out faster doing something like this in a calorie deficit because you're going to be low on food and low on energy. So this may not be the best way to go while you're in a deficit trying to lose fat. This may be something that burns you out a bit. You don't have to go intense every day. Like we said, there's 2 days per each major muscle group here, back, legs, and chest. Commit to one of them being a relatively intense day. Maybe that's the one where you try to hit your PRs, you try to really progress on the weight, you push a little more. And you don't have to designate that in advance. You can do, like I said before, the days you're feeling good, go ahead and try to do those. And just listen to your body a little more than a schedule on a piece of paper. A lot of times we tend to look at numbers and schedules and things written out for us, all laid out nice and everything, but it just doesn't seem to translate to reality. So if you just kind of listen to your body and how you're feeling that day, like I've gone to the gym, and it's whatever, I'll just say it's Friday and it's legs and I'm squatting that day, and I'm like, you know what? This ain't going to be a heavy day today. I know it. I know it by the way the bar feels sometimes. And I'm just like, today's not the day because I'm going to hurt myself if I push this too hard. And that's okay. Some people will call you a pussy. Some people will rag on you a bit, say you're being soft. You know what? I don't think that's true. I think you know yourself as good as if you're committed to yourself, you know what you're doing. You know yourself better than any other lunk in the gym. So just go ahead and listen to yourself. And if you want to do a lighter day and maybe a higher rep, lower weight, go for it. I do it all the time. And you just got to feel right. The form's got to be there. The energy's got to be there. And if it's not, that's where the injuries come in. And then you're out 6-8 weeks and longer even. And that's no good. That's just talk about shitting progress away right there. So that's the 6th day. I know these last few episodes may be a little dry to listen to, so I've kept them short because it's just me kind of going over strength training programming. But, I am going to do some more episodes that I think will be a little more interesting to listen to, a little more animated, I should say. I had a real good talk with my buddy Sean recently when we did his 10-year anniversary of no drinking, and that was a very good episode. I've got a lot of good feedback on that one, so I am having some people join me on the podcast coming up, which will be fun. And I'm going to try to hit some more some more topics that are incorporated in health and wellness a little bit, but more on the maybe the emotional, mental side of things. We'll hit more nutrition. After these last 4 episodes have been dedicated to strength training and really anything. And like I put out on social media, if you want to hear me talk about anything, if you actually like to listen to me, I don't care what it is. I'll listen to you and you tell me what it is. If you want to come on, the episode is essentially yours. If you want to come and talk with me and share your episode and just have a place, and maybe you want to start a podcast, I'm no pro. I'm just a guy with a microphone and an interface and a laptop, and I'm just talking. And if you want to come on with me and shoot the shit, it's beyond fine, and I love that. And that's literally your episode. If you want to give it a shot, see how you sound, see how you do. Maybe you get a little rush from it. Maybe you enjoy it. It can lead to something for you. So I'm happy to host that and do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. If you want to find me and bring that up, let me know. Social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at MFS Wellness. And then you can drop me an email if you'd like, if you're sick of social media, which is understandable. Mike at mfswellness.com. So those are the best spots to reach me at the moment. So please don't hesitate. Happy to talk about anything, discuss the podcast, discuss nutrition, take on a client, wherever you're at. I operate with empathy, understanding, humor, every which way. We just got to be realistic with ourselves. So hit me up. Let me know if I can help you. That's awesome. If we can work together for anything, let's do it. So until we start up the next episode, I appreciate everyone who listens, and we will talk to you then. Thank you.